Hello, what's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to you all. Good to see ya. What is up? Stone Rain Productions, Fat Master, Panda Ninja, Cryptic MTG, Crispy Chicken. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Careful, Seth. Last time I flung a brew at someone, I got kicked out of Applebee's. We'll be careful. Oh, Maxim Walder, good to see you. Electro Brain. How's everyone doing today? Oh, we're going to have some fun today. I thought it was pretty fun to brew yesterday. I don't know how many of you were here for yesterday's stream, but it seemed like people enjoyed the brewing stream, so we're going to revisit that plan today. Our plan for today is twofold. First off, we have a deck I want to try out. We have this Fling deck, which I found in the arena deck list dumps, which I just want to try. I've been wanting to try a deck like this for a while, so I think we're going to try the Fling deck. And then we're going to do some team brewing again. I don't know if we're going to build another Elder Dragon, or maybe we work on the double major combo, something like that, though. So a combination of jank and fun and brewing, and also apparently new historic cards. Chris Fox, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. We had Karavik in our deck yesterday, and I actually wish we had more of them because it seemed really good. So, how's everyone doing today? Hopefully, you are doing well. Let's look at these new historic anthology cards for Dramoka's Command. Dramoka's Command is actually a good card. That's a card that's like close to modern playable. I think this card actually has a chance in Historic to be pretty good. This one stands up to the test of time a little bit. Does a little bit of everything. Enchantments, blows with counter, fighting, preventing damage from a sorcery or an instant. That's a card I could see like the Bant Dragon deck playing, something like that. It's a good removal spell for creature-heavy decks with big creatures. So that's number one. Ooh, you got a Martin? Yeah, Martins are super nice. Yeah, Martins are very good acoustic guitars. Congratulations. Yeah, they're so good to play and they sound so good. So that's a good card. Ooh, Intangible Virtue. If tokens are going to be a thing, this card will be the reason why. This is modern playable. If there's a token deck, Intangible Virtue, the best token anthem in Magic's history. I don't know if we have enough good token producers. That's up for debate. I don't know if we got enough good token producers to make it work in Historic, but if we do, that card is absolutely busted. Pass, yeah? I mean, we need like a Lingering Souls or like a Spectral Procession or something like that. Like, that's what we're missing, but maybe there's enough to make it work. We'd have to look at it. Stifle, I mean, I'm glad they printed Stifle, although outside of like janky combos, I don't think it's actually a playable card. Like, I don't expect people to have Stifle in their deck. What Stifle can do is janky fun stuff like, I play my Croxa and Stifle it to keep it on the battlefield, or I play my like Lotus Field and Stifle it so I don't have to sack lands. So maybe there's some like sort of janky combo. If they actually put like Phyrexian Dreadnought in the format, that would be pretty interesting. But don't get too excited about it. Vault Scourge actually really good for the artifact deck. We've seen Tempered Steel be really close to playable. This is one of the better Tempered Steel style cards, or Affinity style aggro cards. So this one actually will be pretty impactful. Out of these four cards, impact-wise, I would actually say, oh geez, that's tough. It might be Vault Scourge, might be the most impactful of these cards. I think Stifle is the least impactful to Historic. Dramoka's Command I think is good, but it's kind of just a utility spell. Intangible Virtue, highest variance. Intangible Virtue is either going to be a key piece of a real deck, or there's not going to be enough good token producers, and it's not going to do anything until we get more of them. But, alright, Historic Anthology, it's coming along. So anyway, we got brews to do. We got brews to make. We got flings to flung. I don't know. We're going to fling things. We're going to brew decks. We're going to have some fun. Stifle is a rare. Yeah, Stifle's always been a rare, so I mean, they could have, I guess, been generous and knocked it down, but it's always been a rare, so that's not a big deal to me, honestly, just because it's always been. So, new cards in Historic Show. Yeah, we were just looking at the new Historic Anthology cards, the most recent announcement. So, all right, let us do our reminders. Talk about deck number one. Start playing some Magic, and then we will do a poll, do some brewing, combine brewing like we did yesterday. That was so much fun. Will it be Tanazir? gonna be up to you. After we do a couple matches with this deck, or a few matches with the Fling deck, then we will do a poll and we will do team brewing and we will build a sweet deck and play with the sweet deck. So reminders, replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube, tons of stuff going up on the YouTube. There's some crim action. Think probably playing a control deck later today. Tomorrow we have a janky against the odds deck that not gonna tell you what it is, but that's coming up tomorrow. It should be interesting. There's more Legacy in the works. There's Modern in the works. So much stuff coming up on the YouTube channel. A reminder that our awesome sponsor today is Card Kingdom. And if you need some magical cards, like the 14 that are still hanging out in my cart for like a week now, you can get them at cardkingdom.com. Even get a free scoop sticker. Let them know you want one in your order notes. They will hook you up if you need a Spirit Monger or a Heart of Ramos or a Grave Titan. They got you covered. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting this show. Yeah, the Bunch of Magic deck's super fun. Plum the Forbidden is so sweet. That might actually be just the best card from Strixhaven. I love the Legacy video. Would love to see more video streams if older formats. Well, I can tell you that there's another Legacy video that's going to be coming up, and there's going to be Modern coming up. So I am focusing, especially on YouTube, more and more on older formats. So otherwise, merch page, clean out Richard's garage. Donations always appreciated, never required. $2 support gets your message read on stream. The new historic cards were published by Destructoid. Here's the link if you'd like to read the article. So, deck number 1 today. How about you make a Twitch Brews a new YouTube series? Ooh, that could actually be a fun idea. I play a bit of Vintage. We might do some Vintage. Vintage is weird, but we'll probably try some Vintage at some point. Sent you a Modern Dragons Approach list last week. Did you have a chance to look at it? Ooh, I feel like did it have Noel Spine Dragon? I feel like I read it and responded like a day or two ago, but maybe it's a different one that I missed. I definitely remember a Noel Spine Dragon Modern Dragons Approach list, but I thought I responded. Vintage Cube is not up at the moment. I don't believe so. All right. Deck number 1, before we get to our brewing, this is a deck I'm calling Is It Copy Fling? What is the plan of this deck? This deck has 0 creatures. No creatures at all in the entire deck. Not even, well, we get a Zerda, I guess, but we don't have creatures in our main deck. What we're trying to do with this deck is we are trying to cast spells. We got Ops, we have Cathartic Reunions, we have Expressive Iterations, we have removal spells and removal spells and removal spells, and what we're trying to do is get ourselves in a position where we can cast an Experimental Overload to make a token that's big enough that we can kill our opponent with Kazul's Fury. So we're cycling through our deck, staying alive, churning through our deck until we find Experimental Overload. Then we cast Experimental Overload, we make a big token, and then our plan is we're going to take and sacrifice that token to Kazul's Fury. The problem is, that's a lot of damage. We would need a 20 power token to win the game, but we got a plan for this. We have Dual Strike, which can copy our Fling. So the idea is we will take and get the big token. We will find our Fling. We will Dual Strike to double the Fling. That means we only need a 10 power creature, opponent dead on the spot. So that's the plan of the deck. Sideboard, removal, counters, random Jaces, some Narfies of all things to come into play and be a recursive threat since we don't have creatures. So we don't got to get to 10 mana. Experimental Overload makes power a creature with power and toughness equal to the number of instants and sorceries in our graveyard. So we're trying to get that in the graveyard. Mana-wise, if we do it all in one turn, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if we have Dual Strike foretold. We can also potentially do it over multiple turns. But anyway, let's try some Flinging. Let's try some Flinging and see if it works. And then, like I said, we'll do a poll for what we're going to brew today. That's on the list. I don't know. We'll have the Elder Dragons on there. We could also work on double major combo if we want to try to pull that off. Oh, look at this deck I made, inspired by Divine Gambit, using Angelic Ascension, resculpting Azeka's Chariot. Ooh, you love Azeka's Chariot, don't you, Tailspinner Lore? I feel like most decks that you show me have Azeka's Chariot, which it is a really powerful and unique card. I haven't seen too much Battle for Vertigard. That looks interesting. Resculpt, Angelic Ascension, kind of reminds me a little bit of the Meme or Dream, like the upgrade path we were talking about. That looks sweet. Yeah, alright, sure. I mean, we can churn through our deck with expressive iterations. Oh, there's a dual strike. Okay, we're getting there. Spikefield Hazard, go. We don't really have removal yet, which is awkward, but... Opponent. Agonizing Remorse. Well, our hand all essentially does the same thing, so whatever, I guess. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I feel like the last anthology they went super conservative on because they knew about the mystical archives. Hey, what's up, Ice Cream Lesbian? How are you? Oh, also on the Commander YouTube. On the Commander YouTube, the Commander podcast went up today, and we we finally got to talk about MDFCs and why Tomer is so wrong about MDFCs and knows nothing about good Magic cards. So if you want to, oh come on now, really, opponent, really, this is what we're doing. Well, expressive iteration. Awkward. If this is like discard tribal, that's very awkward. Ooh. Alright, take the overload to hand. What does this say? You may play the exiled card this turn. So if we take Azul's Fury, we can play it as a land, right? Play would mean we can play the MDFC as a land. Alright. So seize the spoils in the library. This goes to exile. Play Kazul's Fury. So we're gonna have to find another one, but that's okay. We're off to an okay start. I'm the guy that's saying the Naya graveyard list for standard. So glad you liked it. Ooh, yeah, that's awesome. That definitely a sweet list, Pyro. Thank you. There is no Cody in this deck, although maybe there could be. I think the idea of this deck is no creatures in the main deck. Oh, jeez. No creatures in the main deck, with the idea being that then we can sideboard in creatures, and our opponent shouldn't have removal for them. This has got to be just like Rakdos, Turgid, and we're going to need to draw some removal at some point in the very, very near future, or we're just going to be dead. Discard a card. Okay. Well, we'll discard Cathartic Reunion, I guess. Blitz. Alright, so 1-2. Expressive Iteration. Wow, they discarded Turgid. Expressive Iteration Part 2. So, take Blitz to our... No, wait. Frostbite to our hand. Dual Strike to the bottom. Blitz in exile. Play the land. Blitz the Rankle. Alright, threat dealt with. We're getting there. I want to see if this Jadzi Transmogrify list works. I'm missing like 20 Mythic Wild cards. Yeah, that is a tough one. We did talk a bit about the spoilers right at the beginning. Opponent. Oh, so much discard. Awkward matchup with the amount of discard our opponent has. Rankle hosts the Nickelodeon show Walk the Prankle. Oh, it never ends. It never ends. Well, we will discard a... Mountain, I guess. Opponent. One of the problems with our deck is we don't actually draw cards. We can churn through our deck, but we don't actually have the ability to just like draw extra cards. Which maybe that's a problem with this deck. Maybe we need a way to actually like refill. Oh my goodness. Seriously, it never ends. It seriously, truly, really never ends. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we will kill your dork, I guess. Opponent passes. Cathartic Reunion. Discard, discard. Play the land. Pass the turn. Get wrecked by Elspeth. This is going wrong in so many ways. 11. Ooh, 11 inches is impressive. Oh, we're in trouble here. Like, Elspeth's Nightmare also exiles our graveyard, which undoes every bit of work that we did this entire game. Like, I actually don't know if we'd win if they exile our graveyard. Hey, what's up, Atari? How are you? Yeah, I imagine this has to be, like, literally the worst possible matchup that I could ever imagine. Oh, jeez. Jeez. Opponent passes. We draw Useless Mountain. We pass the turn. I wish this deck had real card draw, I think. Opponent going to exile our graveyard, going to again duress us. I mean, our opponent's also just drawn 4 lands and 15 discard spells. Oh, spell? Maybe. Isn't spell actually like a ridiculous amount of mana to draw a card, though? I thought spell statue was like 4 mana to draw a single card or something. Opponent chooses each player discards a card. We untap. Uncastable Cathartic Reunion. Pass the turn. Opponent exiles our graveyard again. Oh. Alright. Yeah, fair enough. Oh my god. Every single card they play says discard a card, which is absurd. Yeah, is there anything in this deck that... There's nothing that actually draws. Huh. Yeah, that's awkward. That there's nothing that actually draws a card. There's tons of stuff that is, like, filters through the deck, but none of this actually gets around what just happened there. Huh. Yeah, that was brutal. That was brutal in a whole bunch of different ways. So now I assume our opponent takes out... I mean, I guess our opponent also drew 0 removal spells. They just drew all discard. So I assume that they have a bunch of targeted removal. Well, Seize doesn't leave you up a card, though. Seize is, you spend a card, discard a card, get 2 cards. So you're still card neutral. All of our stuff is card neutral. Like Cathartic Reunion, you spend 3 cards, you get 3 cards. Expressive Iteration sort of puts you up a card if you can play the exiled card. That is the one that is sort of card advantage. But I kind of wish there was something that just straight up was like, hey, draw 3 cards or something. Or yeah, like the cantrip that draws based on how many are Frantic Inventory, based on how many are in the graveyard. I do think this has to be maybe the worst possible matchup for what our deck's trying to do. King Narfi doesn't seem good because there's graveyard hate for days. Negate is like okay. Yes, this is just bad. Bad in every possible way. I mean, we're playing blue. There's got to be card draw. There's got to be something that just like straight up is like, hey, extra cards in your hand. Ugh. All right, go Jace. We will keep experimental overload to the bottom. Land, go. Well, here comes the dresses. Let's just play Sparky. We're not playing Sparky. Land, go. Opponent. Land. Agonizing Remorse to, I assume, take the Jace. I mean, the Blue Walker's not in our main deck. It's a 1-of in the sideboard. So, after sideboarding, it can theoretically draw a card or 2 before it kills itself. Maybe. Possibly. Well, make a treasure. Filter through the deck. Zerta doesn't do anything. Zerta just exists. But it doesn't actually... It doesn't actually do anything important to what our deck's trying to do. Well, I mean... I guess we'll take Zerta, play the land, pass the turn. Pingurtle, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we were talking about the historic anthology cards a bit earlier. So the thing about adding a creature to the deck is it's just gonna die every time. Like, we don't have any other targets, and every deck has removal. So I think the upside of the deck, oh jeez, I think the upside of the deck is that it turns off the opponent's removal. I think that is actually one of the big upsides of the deck. Well, we're going to be empty-handed here, like, immediately. Opponent discards a Turgid. Hey, what's up, Magi? How are you? Yeah, Zerta, I think whoever built the deck is playing it because it's, like, a free roll, but it doesn't actually, do anything relevant. I'll discard some cards, draw some lands. Kill the Liliana.
Let's never cross paths again.
Play the land, pass the turn. Opponent. Hey, how are you, Jim? Good to see ya. Hope work is going well. Yeah, Riley is a really sweet card, but I'm very skeptical of adding a single creature to a creature-free deck. Because you gotta think about your opponent's deck, and essentially every deck has every deck has removal. So if you play one creature, there's just nothing else to actually target. So your opponent's gonna target it just by default, essentially. Opponent makes us discard. Yeah, let's try another. This is a miserable matchup. I think it's also, if you look at our, it's just, what are the odds that we run into literally an unwinnable matchup? King Narfi seems good in this matchup. I mean, the problem is they're also playing main deck Graveyard Hate. We got hit by multiple Elspeth's Nightmares in game one. So I feel like Narfi just gets exiled and dies. I think in a more traditional, like, that's just a bad matchup. I think it's just all of even the card draw that we do have needs us to discard cards for it to do anything. So our opponent, by making us discard so many cards, turns off like just all of our deck. All right, Yarion. Except we don't have any lands. All right. We got lands sort of this time. Well, we're on the clock. We know Emergent Ultimatum will be coming. The good news is, and I think the biggest upside of this deck, is when you think about, like, the Yarion deck, I mean, we naturally blank, like, 90% of our opponent's deck. By not playing creatures, our opponent's deck is just going to be full of dead sweepers and removal spells. Brew around Karavik. How would you brew around Karavik? I think that's an interesting question. Karavik doesn't strike me as a brew around card so much in Standard, because I'm not really sure, like, what synergizes with it? Well, we'll get our Fling for the future. So Fling to hand, Spikefield Hazard to the bottom, and land to play. Play the land past the turn. Are there any synergies for it, though? Well, Masker Worm and Karavik are kind of the same thing, right? Frostbite. A little worried about counters here, but I'll play the land on red. Seize the spoils. Discard Frostbite. Opponent. Alright, let's it go. I'll pass the turn. Serpentine Curve. What is Serpentine Curve? Serpentine Curve. Oh, the Fractal Maker. Yeah, the Fractal Maker is pretty sweet. The Fractal Maker is kind of like, I think it's worse, but very similar to Experimental Overload. Like, it could be extra copies of Experimental Overload if we want more than 4. Who we're finding flings. Finding flings for days. Would be nice to find a counter at some point. Well, seize the spoils. Discard Frostbite. Play Spike Field Hazard. We're getting close. All right, this is at 5. We need a way to copy. We need a way to copy our fling, and we need a few more spells in the graveyard. And we got a shot. We got a shot. We got a shot. About it. Going to Field of Ruin. That's fine. Sure. We'll get a Snow-Covered Island. Where are we at now? 5. We're getting there. We're getting. Oh, is this just blue-black control? Is our opponent not even a... Is this not Salte? Wow, this isn't Salte Ultimatum. They're just blue-black control, aren't they? That's probably worse than Salte Ultimatum. Maze Mind's Tome. All right, opponent's going to get to draw some cards, I guess. We are flinging at the moment, attempting to Expressive Iteration. We will take Opt to our hand. I wish this card... I don't know why it doesn't say Hand Exile Library. What gets me with Expressive Iteration, like 100% of the time, is that's what's intuitive to me, because you can play the first 2, but you can't play the last one. So many times if I'm not paying attention, I end up putting the card that I want to put into exile on the bottom of my library because of the way the wording, because of the way it's worded. It seems, I mean, nothing wrong with it, but it seems like it should be worded the opposite way to me. So this one goes to the library. Mountain goes to exile. We get to play the mountain. Up to 6 spells. Pass. Oh, can we Cathartic Reunion? Let's pass. Let's pass for now. Well, opponent's only got 2 mana up. What would we discard? Kazul's Fury and a land? You know, maybe we go for it. Land Kazul's Fury. Cathartic Reunion. If our opponent counters, we are going to have to counter back. Okay, we're getting there. Pass the turn. Up to 8. We got the fling. We just need the copy spell, and we actually can pull off our kill. We're so close. Hey, what's up, Kava? How are you? We are flinging big weirds. That is the main goal. Fling a weird, pound it, more Maze Mind's Tomes. Sure. Well, we will opt. Up to 9 power. Frostbite to the bottom for sure. There's Dual Strike. There's Dual Strike. Oh, we're so close. We are so very close. Untap. Another Kazul's Fury. Oh, this might be happening. This might actually be happening. Expressive Iteration. We will take Experimental Overload to hand. Seize the spoils to the bottom. Mountain. Exile. Play it. Experimental Overload. As a distraction technique. Next turn's the turn, I think. Next turn's the turn. Well, we got 2 of them. So this is the bait out a counter, Experimental Overload. And then next turn is the hopefully win the game Experimental Overload. All right, sure. Opponent counters. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, we're at 11 power. All right, let's do this. Foretell. Opponent's gonna scry. We have a new donation from opponent doing some scrying. Doing some more wow! Massive donation. Good God. Huge donation from Giggity Giggity. Oh, giggity giggity. I recently rewatched a couple episodes of Family Guy that came on TV, and parts of it were kind of funny. Giggity giggity, $100 donation. Hey, Seth. I've been watching your content since my junior year of high school on Friday. I'm graduating from college. This is just a small token of my appreciation for all your content over the years. Thank you for all you do. Well, giggity, giggity. Congratulations. That is amazing. Like, thank you for the donation, and congratulations on graduating. That is amazing. That's so, oh man, we've been doing this for a long time, haven't we? Oh, that's so awesome. All right, Cathartic Reunion. I still don't think we go for it yet. We will discard and discard. Keep churning through the deck. Seize the spoils. Discard a mountain. Keep churning through the deck. How big is this going to be? 15. I'll play the tap land. Opponent has so many cards. How do we fight through the counters? That's the real question. We need our opponent to tap down for something? The treasures actually. Oh, Thrilling Discovery. We just don't have white mana, but compared to Thrill of Possibility, the treasure is kind of relevant. Opponent scries. Come on, play an Ashiok, play Shark Typhoon, play something so we can kill you. Opponent, some manual tappage, foretells. We can beat we need another negate, I think. Spikefield Hazard to the bottom. Just kidding, to the top and to the bottom. All right, untap. Another negate. Okay, let's think about this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. We cast Experimental Overload. Opponent counters. We negate. Opponent counters. We negate. We can't win. Yeah, Zerda's gonna die. Like, opponent has so many. They have so many removal spells in hand. They have to have so many removal spells in hand. I mean, at some point we're gonna have to go for it. It would actually be kind of easier if we could get this up to 20 power. Let's foretell a dual strike. Get Zerda. Just because. Play the land. Pass the turn. Oh, we're being so patient. We're gonna get there, hopefully. Opponents just gotta have so many counters. Like, that's what their deck does. We're hoping that eventually they're like, okay, I need to Yarion to reset my Maze Mind's Tome. If they ever tap down to just having one counter up, boom, we're gonna get them. That's what we need. I mean, I guess we might be able to do it with the dual strike to copy the Experimental Overload in a weird way. Oh no, the record's not updated. We are definitely not 4-1 already. Soon. Maybe. Opponent. I mean, it's a pretty safe bet that this is either the card draw spell or a Saw It Coming. Jeez. Well, okay. I guess we actually have to negate an Erebos' intervention. That's awkward. Yeah, I mean, we have to. We don't have a choice. Please, opponent. Please tap out and die. Opponent. Wow, they're wasting their Maze Mind's Tomes aggressively. I guess gaining 4 life is actually kind of annoying. Leaves it on top. Untaps. Crawling Barrens. Okay. This should be enough. Opponent only has one counter available. Okay, we got him. We got him! Finally! Opponent passes. And now death will come to our opponent. Opponent passes. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we should spend more blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. We will experimental overload. Opponent attempts to counter. However, we expected this. Counter this saw it coming, and here it comes. The greatest fling in the history of Magic, experimental overload. Get back negate just because. 18-18. Now we will. Dual strike. Copy that. What if we dual strike again? Does that rub it in even more? 2 dual strikes. Alright. Dual strikes. And then, last but not least, fling. Target your face. Sack the 18-18. Yes, and that's what you get for playing an Ashiok. Yes, we even got to take down the Ashiok to rub it in. Ooh, okay, that was good. That was real good. That was sweet. Oh. I gotta get to our Commander Clash podcast. Haven't enough of Tomer's misunderstanding of how to value MDFCs. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. All right, chat. Let me ask you this. About MDFCs in Commander. Oh, that was so good. And the Brewing will be coming before long. That was worth all the heartache. So, chat, if you play Commander, yeah, we did talk at the beginning of the stream about the new anthology cards, but we might talk about them some more. So, chat, let me ask you. Let's say you're playing Commander, the Magic the Gathering format Commander. You're thinking about putting MDFCs, the Zendikar Rising ones that are lands and spells. You're thinking about putting them in your deck. Do you think of them as spells, or do you think of them as lands, or a mixture of the two? Like, when you want to add Agadim's Awakening, are you like, okay, I got to remove a Reanimate from my deck or a Swamp from my deck? Spells, lands. That's actually like one of the big... I think that was one of the biggest debates, honestly, from the podcast is... We maybe should have spent even more time talking about it, but that was one of the most interesting parts, I think, is debating just how you view MDFCs. And I was kind of surprised to learn that Tomer views them way, way differently than I do. Tomer views them more as spells. I view them more as lands. I think, actually, I tend to view them as half a land. Oh no, 26 seconds. I tend to view them as half a land, really. I tend to view them as half a land. And my goal is to have, like, maybe 40 or 41 total lands, but only, like, 33 real lands, with MDFCs being the others. Tomer... Ooh, Narfi time? This actually could be good. Maybe Narfi just gets there. Like, Cathartic Reunion, discard Narfies, go to town. Well, so much for the discarding of Narfies. Opponent, yeah. Well, now we're gonna have to draw another way to discard them. Oh, that was gonna be sweet. I don't know if they could beat the Narfies, honestly. Spare supplies. Ah, the Lynx players will go to draw a card. I can respect that. Dual strike hidden. Throw possibility would be fine. The question is, what would you cut for it, basically? It depends on how, it also depends on how I think I will use a spell. If it's Reclamation, I would probably use it more of a spell more often. If it's something like a protection spell, I'll probably use as Lend more often. Yeah, I think that's a fair way to think about it as well. We need to find a way to discard these Narfies. We kinda actually really got wrecked by that discard spell. You know what? The more I think about this deck, the more I think that Zerda is incorrect. I think that even though it's a free roll, I think that I should not have Zerda as a companion, because I think that Zerda, players will see it, especially, I don't know, players will see it, and they might keep in their removal as a result. And we really want our opponents to take out their removal. So I feel like playing Zerda as a companion actually makes the deck worse instead of better. And that it almost certainly should not be a companion. Oh, Floral Hedron's so good! It's so good! It really is. Floral Hedron is insane. Well, we will. Man, I need that cathartic reunion. Opponent. Feel the wrath of our companion. Opponent draws a card, untaps. We can't even cast these Narfies. These Narfies are looking horrible at the moment. Ashiok, sure.
I wonder if my kin are delightfully friendly.
Oh, this is going so poorly. Amazingly poorly. Well, go attacking. Opponent blocks. Exiles. Some good cards. We will play a land. Yeah, these Narfies make me want to puke. They're so bad. Yeah, Tomer's opinions on MDFCs, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Well, we will, finally, cast a Cathartic Reunion. Probably gonna get countered, but we can get rid of these Narfies. Thank the magic gods. Wow, it doesn't even get countered. Can we just not beat an Ashiok? Is that where we're at? Well, play the land. There, Zerda doing work. Boom. Take that one. Alright, Bone's gonna fire up Crawling Barrens. Block. Oh, you really want ultimate? Well, we get to Spikefield Hazard the land. Pass the turn. Takes up Ashiok again. Ugh. Huh. Yeah, we can't deal with it. Opponent played Ashiok and we can't win. That's it. that's the TLDR. So I guess we have to dual strike because we're not doing anything else. Experimental overload. Copy it. Opponent saw it coming. Well, we will counter it. Get back. Cathartic Reunion. Get back. Dual strike. Oh, this just exiles more cards for our opponent to ultimate. Ugh. Ashiok's pretty good if you can't deal with it. Yeah, Zerta does literally nothing in our deck. Like, it does not have any relevant synergies. It just makes our opponent leave in their removal, so our sideboard plan doesn't work. Malakar Rebirth is excellent if you build around your commander. 1 mana regeneration on a land isn't bad. Yeah, Malakar Rebirth is decent. What is your favorite MDFC, chat? Well, the bigger problem, like, I mean, free roll companions are free roll companions, but our deck actively needs our opponent to take out the removal spells for our sideboard plan. And having a creature that's always sitting there in front of your face is like a reminder, like, oh, creature removal, creature removal. I can certainly see someone leaving in creature removal exclusively because we have that companion sitting there, which just goes against the plan of the deck so severely. Seagate's really good. Just the lands. Can you hear that? I think we bugged out Arena by conceding. Do you hear the Ashiok ultimate noise, which is starting to get annoying? Shh. It's just like a ringing in your ears and water flowing. Yeah, I think we broke Arena. So. Well, what do we learn? We cannot let Ashiok resolve. That is number 1. Also number 2. Also number 3. Well, let's try it like that. Mr. Second Amendment, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. That's true. Arena does like to break itself regularly. Alright, well, I'll keep this. I mean, this has answers to Ashiok at least, which is something. Opponent, tap land. Well, land on blue, Cathartic Reunion, Spikefield Hazard, and, oh, if we don't draw land off this, I'm gonna cry. Lures would do the same thing. Lures would still get our opponent to leave in their removal, which is what we're trying to avoid. Alright, we do hit the land, which is nice. Opponent. More blue mana. Oh! Alright, we get down a Rowan! That is interesting. That is very interesting. Play this on blue. Rowan. Alright, how good is our new Planeswalker? Pena! Oh, if we get to ultimate this and get the emblem? I don't think our opponent saw the Rowan coming. Done? Our opponent's turn not to be able to beat a Planeswalker? Opponent, tell me you didn't leave in removal. If we get to untap, we have multiple counters to protect it. Alright, foretells. Sure. Ping you.
Art and combat aren't so different.
Tap land. We're all in on the Rowan. We're all in on the Rowan. About it. Fabled Passage. Well, having the companion and then punish your opponent for leaving in the removal would make sense, but then I think we would want to have a different sideboard plan, probably. Huh. How does this go wrong? Ooh, Tiamat viable in standard. Let me see Halfwing Steed. Alright. So what the problem here is, okay, we could counter, but then they counter back. What beats this Rowan is an Ashiok, so I assume our opponent takes a negate, And then Test of Talents can't stop Ashiok, and then they bounce the Rowan and try to do that. I would guess that's what our opponent's trying to set up. Opponent's thinking. Wow, they take the Test of Talents. Interesting. I did not see the Rudy video about Mystical Archive prices. What was that video about? Well, we will. Expressive iteration. Rug Tiamat. Ugh. Well, We'll take Mystical Dispute to hand. Put Overload back. Exile Mystical Dispute. Play a land. Oh no, we gotta take up Rowan. Take up Rowan.
I've learned lots.
Come on. Come on. Let us ultimate. The Tiamat deck looks sweet. I think Shapeshifters do seem like a good way to help power it up. I mean, if you can actually resolve it, it is really powerful. They are literally worthless. Wait. Oh, whoa, whoa. Wow. Okay. Are we going to get to ultimate this? Well, I don't think we can pass up the emblem.
I'll show you something impressive.
And we keep the Rowan. And we play the land. And we get a Zerda. Alright. I kind of like where we're at now. Yeah, Stifle's coming to Historic, but I don't think it's very playable. Maybe some sort of combo deck could play it, but I think, in general, I don't think it's a card that is going to see tons of play outside of a combo deck. Yeah, I also wanted to keep the Rowan around, though, if possible. I think it was worth waiting a turn to try to keep it around. I'll ping you.
Oh, I'll win by blade or by bolt.
Now we just need card draw. If we had a Cathartic Reunion or something and can double it, oh, it's so good. It's so good. Opponent, behold the multiverse. Do we even care about countering it? It does get a spell in the graveyard. Yeah, we'll wait. This is a Fling deck. Wait, why are they worthless? Oh, was he just saying that they are low value? I mean, that is kind of true, I think, of the normal regular printing. I think that is mostly true of the regular printings. Agonizing Remorse. Well, we will negate it. You know what? Do we copy? Is it worth copying? I guess we might as well. Alright. Definitely getting countered. Just to make sure. Opponent passes. Oh, there's Cathartic Reunion. There's a Cathartic Reunion. That is what we were looking for. Okay. So. Rowan. Ping you.
The Prismari teach me to use.
Cathartic Reunion. Discard. No. Discard. Oh, we're going to draw some cards now. Maybe that's how we draw cards. We have to ultimate our sideboard Rowan. And then we're in the card drawing business finally. 2 Cathartic Reunions. Opponent doesn't even try to counter. Wow. Okay, that was a good turn. We're getting there. We didn't hit a land, but that's fine. Watch us double ultimate ruin. Double ultimate ruin and have every spell. Wait, what are we getting punted for? Discard 2. Well, discard. Ruin. Oh. Yeah, I guess there is even more random text out there. Oh, yeah, I guess technically we would have got more damage out of it. You're right. You are correct. Well, opt. You know what? I think we're going to copy that. 2 ops. We'll grab an island. Sure. Why not? We'll keep a negate. And another counter. And we'll take a Brewing. And we'll play the land. And we'll pass the turn. And oh my goodness, this Rowan is going all the way. I've never seen Rowan go off like this. This is insane. I didn't know it was possible for Rowan to just like win a game, but I feel like that's where this is headed. We will discard a mystical dispute. Opponent untaps. I mean, we could double emblem. Double emblem. Yeah, I guess this is the right matchup. Like, the control matchup is where it's at. Oh. So what are you feeling like brewing? We're getting close to the brewing time. Well, get back to Narfster. I really just want to emblem. What's the worst that could happen if we can triple our spells? Ooh. Ooh. Do we need to keep... You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Boom. Double emblem. Oh, 2 emblems. Every card in our deck is now absurd. We do need to hit lands at some point. I'll go to combat. Attack you. Pumps the Crawling Barrens. Opponent blocks. Sure. Blitz. Huh. Yeah, I guess we'll copy once. Copy it. Alright. Well, blitz it. Wow, Rowan emblems. Alright. Dead. Pass the turn. I think we're going to be able to pull off the combo kill eventually. Opponent. Shark Typhoon. Now we will Mystical Dispute it. And opponent scoops it up, and that was a Rowan win. Oh, that was pretty good. All right. I mean, the deck does do pretty sweet things. It does do sweet things. One more, and then we will do our brewing for the day. Rowan is apparently a backup win condition for Jazzy Transmogrifying control matchups. Yeah, I mean, in control matchups, if they can't kill it, it is pretty decent. We should brew Vorinclex Strixhaven Stadium. We already did Strixhaven Stadium against the odds. So I feel like we already did that one. All right, so here are the options, I think. I will give you the poll. I think we have the Elder Dragons. We did Shadrax yesterday. So I don't think we're going to do Shadrax again. But we have other Elder Dragons. There's also the double major combo that I did a short on about the combo on YouTube today. We could we could also try that if you were interested. I'm going to put up the poll. All right, let's put up the poll, and then after this match, we will do our brewing, and then play the brew for the rest of the stream. What are the... let's play our land drop. Play Spikefield out. Please don't be the discard deck again. So, on our poll for today's brew, what... mirror? Should we brew? Play a land. Foretell. Belladros. Option 1. Tanzir. Tanazir on the list. Velomachus. What is the missing? Galazeth? We kind of played Galazeth recently. I'm going to leave Galazeth off. Because we played a dragon deck not that long ago. Double Major. I will set the duration at 5 minutes, and the poll is officially up at the stop of the stream. Start your voting. Get your votes in now. Well, let's keep foretelling. Need some card draw someday. Pass the turn. Yeah, I guess we already have played a lot of Velomachus. We have not played Velomachus in Standard, but we have played it in Historic and Modern. Exus Frontside plus Quintorius. Ooh. I mean, that does sound interesting. And let's just pass. Leave up negate. Card draw. Cha-cha-cha. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if... We'll see. We'll see where the poll's at. I wouldn't be surprised if it won. Belladro... Oh, Double Major is way ahead right now. Double Major is doubling up the field. I mean, the combo is really interesting. I don't know how practical the combo will be to pull off against a non-Sparky opponent, but when we do pull it off, oh, it is so cool. I mean, how many ways could you go infinite in Standard? Not that many. Yeah, that's the problem with Velomachus in Standard that I found, is not that Velomachus is bad, it's that there's not good things to cast with Velomachus. Like, what's the single best instant or sorcery you can cast with Velomachus in Standard? Oh boy. The Flutterino. What's the single best instant or sorcery? Like, there isn't much, honestly. Wow, this is a weird draw. Behold the Multiverse. I guess we can't counter that. Ooh, this might be slipping away. Can we pump him to cast ultimatums? I mean, yeah, that takes a lot more work, though. But yeah, in theory, you can pump it and cast bigger things. I think that makes it tough, though, because it's going to be hard to play Velomachus and also pump it in the same turn. So, unless you're getting up to, like, 10 mana or something absurd. I think the biggest power of Velomachus is you can play at attack and cast something immediately. If you have to wait, I think it gets a lot less exciting. All right. Torrent Sculptor. I mean, that is going to be a 4/4, I guess. Card draw. Apparently, we're just going to draw a land every single turn of this game. Every single turn. Winning the poll, Double Major still ahead, followed by Belladros. Velomachus, there's like 2 people in the chat that love Tanazir, and apparently no one else does, because it is not doing well in the poll. Couldn't you like do Velomachus and Primal Might to try to cast in Ultimatum? Yeah, I mean, you can play a pump spell to cast bigger things. The hard part is, like, having the mana to do that the turn you play Velomachus. Because Velomachus is 7 mana. You would need +2/+2 to cast an ultimatum. So you would have to, like, cast a Velomachus and have the pump spell in hand and have 3 extra mana or something. That makes it a little bit harder compared to just, like, play Velomachus, attack, do something sweet. I'm sure we'll get to Belladros eventually. Royal Scions, yeah, something that's sitting on board is a good possibility. Alright, that's some card draw, finally. Dual Strike. Seize the spoils. We're going to discard Kazul's Fury. Draw some cards. Draw some more cards. Gonna need to find some removal. Expressive Iteration. Take negate to hand. Negate to hand. Overload to the bottom. Island Exile. Play the island. We're not blocking, so we might as well attack. Bear and I have a shark, or we're in serious trouble. We're in serious trouble. Well, I guess we're in serious trouble in multiple ways. We're not even especially close to being able to fling for lethal either. Yeah, we're getting sharked. If they have a dragon to go with this, we're just dead on the spot, I think. The poll is at the top of the chat. Unsure how it works on mobile, actually. But it is at the top of the chat. Oh, maybe the poll might be done now, actually. I think the poll may be ended. Prismari command. Hits us to 2. Wow, we did nothing. We did literally nothing. We did nothing this entire game. How depressing. Opponent passes. Expressive Iteration again. Yeah, this is so bad. Well, play Dual Strike. Cathartic Reunion. Discard. Draw a bunch of cards. And die to the sharks. Velomachus and Rhymerock? Yeah, Rhymerock could be good. Frostbite doesn't kill anything. No. Huh? Why? Why, Arena? Oh, does it make you confirm anything with Ward? Interesting. I've never seen that before. Huh. I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, we still got to do it. I mean, I assume we're just dead. Negate, 1/2, 1/2, yeah. Alright, sure. Well, we did not get any traction that game. When are we playing Against the Odds Command Tribal? Ooh. What would Command Tribal look like? It sounds funny. But what would it actually do, I wonder? Would it do anything? Our deck seems ill-equipped to deal with sharks. So Frostbite doesn't kill much of relevance. Bring in a few more counters running like that. Yeah, I guess Niv in an older format could work. Such awful designs. If we're replacing hexproof, now they'll have to ask forever to avoid the downside of being able to target, even without the resources of not having it countered. I mean, hexproof is not a good mechanic. Hexproof should. Here's the thing. And I don't understand why Wizards. And this isn't just old man yelling at the clouds, but I don't understand why they switched to hexproof from Shroud. Like, that's a part that. And I don't know why they refuse to go back to Shroud. Because Shroud is just like hexproof without the problems of hexproof. Like Shroud, like they got it right the first time when they were trying to make the like protect your stuff mechanic. They nailed it the first time with Shroud, but for some reason they switched to hexproof and will not go back to Shroud no matter how much hexproof proves to be bad for the game. That's what makes Shroud fair, though. Marwa said that people play hexproof as Shroud. I think that's like a horrible argument. So the argument is people are not playing right, so we're going to change the cards to make them right? That would be like, I don't know. When I first started playing, we did like free mulligans. Like you could just kind of do whatever you wanted to. Like until you got a hand that would make for a fun game. Like that's how a lot of people play Magic. Does that mean we should change the mulligan rule to, you know, find a hand that is going to make for a fun game? Because that's how most people play it? Yeah, I mean, I know I'm not coming down on you. I'm not, yeah, I wasn't trying to come down on you. I do know he said it, but it doesn't really make sense to me. Opponent passes. But yeah, that's one of my pet peeves, because I think hexproof is like, what's the worst mechanic? Worst modern mechanic. Like, if you go back in Magic's history, it's very easy to go with, like, banding or things like that, which are legitimately horrible. But like, what's the worst mechanic printed in the Mythic era? Going back to like Shards of Alara, during the time period when they've been making Mythics, what would you rank as the worst mechanic during that time frame? I think that's a lot more interesting than worst mechanic of all time, because something like banding or flanking would always win. Dredges, yeah, Devoid. Devoid is a good choice, although at the same time, as much as I dislike Devoid also isn't, like, actively harmful to the game of Magic. It just doesn't do anything. But it's not like Hexproof, where it's like, oh my goodness, like, oh, what a miserable gameplay this leads to. Bushido, I don't mind Bushido. Bushido feels like 100 other mechanics, though. There's so many, like, oh, your creature's attacking, and now we're going to do something type mechanics. Those are just, there's so many of them that it's hard to get excited about for me, but I don't see as this boils. I mean, I guess Serta is good for discarding. I think that's Serta's main purpose, honestly, is discarding it to our rummaging, looting effects. Planeswalker static abilities are a good choice. Although at the same time, I feel like Planeswalker static abilities are something that could be sweet. They could be sweet. They aren't sweet, but they could be sweet if they were not overpowered. Oh, chat, I don't think we've talked about this. What do you think about... How much mana do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess Mystical Dispute's still helpful. So we'll take Mystical Dispute. We'll put Cathartic Reunion back. Actually, do we want Cathartic Reunion? What are we discarding? Frost... actually, all right. We'll put Expressive Iteration back. We'll take Cathartic Reunion. We will Cathartic Reunion. Discard Frostbite and Land. Keep churning through the deck. What do you think, Jack? I don't think we've talked about this. I can't believe we haven't, because it's interesting. What do you think of the upcoming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? All right. Pass the pass the turn. What do you think about the upcoming event where they're going to change broken cards and make fair versions of them? What do you think about that? What do you think about that event? Like, take Teferi and make it not miserable, or take Oko and make it not broken. You haven't heard about it? They're doing a special event. Do you know what it is? I can't remember the date it is. I feel like it's soon, though. Like, I feel like it's this month sometime, or like in the relatively near future. But yeah, that's an actual event that they're doing. I'm actually kind of excited for it to see what changes they'd make. Like, I'm sure we'll try playing it on stream or whatever, just for fun. But I'm mostly interested in what Wizards views as a fair version of those cards. Yeah, it is. It's an arena event. Also, something that some people have kind of freaked out about a bit. Do you think that's the first step towards them doing this for real, essentially? Like, do you think this is the first step towards them errating cards? Yeah, I think the event sounds really cool. It is a real arena event. They announced it on their stream last week. We have a new donation from... I'll play the land. New donation from McCary. Based on the previous discussion, what do you think? What do you think the top 5 mechanics on the Storm list should be? Ooh, McCary, $20 donation. Thank you so much. I will answer your question in a minute. Well, okay, we'll wrap back around. What 5 mechanics that would rank high on the Storm scale of never being reprinted? Well, one would be Dredge. Dredge is the worst. So that would be number 1 on my list. So no Dredge. I think Storm itself would be very high on the list. Companion probably ranks ahead of all of them. I absolutely ridiculously over the top dislike Companions. So Companions would probably actually be number 1. Well, we got a foretell. I mean, maybe we can pull off the combo kill. Don't shark us. Opponent untaps. What else would be on the list? I mean, I kind of like Adventures. They just overpowered them. If Adventures were costed like Learn Lesson, I think it would actually be kind of a sweet mechanic. But because they printed like Super Ultra Push Crazy version, that makes it a lot harder to like. Cascade is very breakable. Those ones are Devoid. I would add Devoid to the list. And I would add Hexproof to the list. I guess Hexproof is a keyword. Okay, so my list would be Companions, Dredge. Companions, Dredge. Ooh, Phyrexian Mana. Oh, that actually probably deserves a spot on the list. Companions, Dredge, Hexproof, Phyrexian Mana, and Devoid. I think that would probably be my list. I like Threshold. I think Threshold is a neat mechanic. Running out of time. I'll play the land. Dual Strike. Experimental Overload. Copy. Opponent counters. Oh, we will. Negate? Opponent counters. Okay. Sure. We will get back Dual Strike. We will pass the turn. Is there a chance? Is there a chance? Is there a chance it's all going to come together? We got a handful of counters. We got the 11-11. As long as we don't die, opponent hits us. Down to 5. I think it might be coming. I think it might be happening. About it. Seagate Restoration. You know what? We're going to negate that. Negate. Untap. Oh! Dual Strike. Cast it. Kazuo's Fury. Face. Sack. Double Trouble. Also face. Oh! We got there. Man, this deck requires patience. Hi. Okay. Oh, it requires a lot of patience. Those sharks are scary. Man, Shark Typhoon's a good card. Yeah. I wonder if Jace is worth it. I wonder, this might be a matchup where Rowan and Jace could be worth it. Rowan and Jace in. Frostbite seems like it does nothing. And down 1. Ooh. Spikefield Hazard? Run like that? I mean, it's cool when it goes off. Hey, thank you again for the donation. What would you think? So we kind of got distracted by talking about bad mechanics. Thanks to the awesome donation, which very, very much appreciate. Yeah, let's mulligan that. Oh, we're gonna need a land. All right, well, give us a land or give us a death in the start of our brewing. But what would you think if they did that for real? The card errata-ing thing. Like, I know they kind of did it a little bit sort of... Ooh, there's the land. I know they kind of did it a little bit sort of with companions. But let's say... Uru. What's a recent example? Or like Omnath. What if instead of banning those cards, they were like... You know, we're just going to change them. We're just going to change how they work. Actually, let's discard this Cathartic Reunion. I don't think we're going to be able to afford to do it again. Like, do you think that would make the game better or worse? I'm actually, like, very curious. Ooh, let me see your historic hammer time, Liz, not Jake. I'll play the land. Pass the turn. I wish we had another blue source. Behold the multiverse. Okay, draw some cards. Errata's really dangerous with paper existing. Yeah, that is kind of the sticking point. In paper, I don't know how it would work exactly. I guess your cards would just not work the way you expected them to work. That would be the simplest answer, is the cards would not play as written, kind of like companions do now. I think Todd Anderson, we were talking about this on Twitter, and Todd Anderson from SCG suggested something like Wizards could take and do a mail-in thing where if they errated a card, you could take and send in your copies and they'd send you the new version. I would assume that Wizards probably wouldn't go for that because of cost issues. That sounds very expensive, even just all the shipping. So I couldn't imagine that Wizards would go for that. But something along those lines could work if Wizards wouldn't do it. Erratas are nothing new. I mean, they kind of are. Erratas, so there have been erratas, but... all right, Fury to hand... Land. So Magic has long had a rule against functional, like power level erratas. They have long had a rule against power level erratas. There's tons of erratas where they add a new creature type and they update old creatures to have the new type or stuff like that. That happens constantly. But power level erratas is something they did a tiny bit in like the early 90s. And essentially just made a rule against that they were not going to do power level erratas, and that's what ban focused erratas would essentially be. Like, this card is too strong. We are going to make it less strong by changing it. Hey, let me see, not Jake. I would like this Jace. If it gets countered, we don't have much going on, do we? Kanking it would be even sweeter. Maybe we keep waiting. Maybe we get Zerda. I guess getting Zerda didn't make much sense there. Now did it? Yeah, that might not have been smart. Hammer Smash. Ooh, kind of a cycling sub-theme. That is a plan that I haven't really seen. Wow, are we going to get Zerda and discard Zerda? Okay. Alright, that saves us. That saves us from having to discard the Zerda. Thank you, opponent, for casting that spell. Yeah, that's an interesting build. I messed around with Hammer Time a little bit in the format. My focus has been basically like Warrior Tribal, essentially. I haven't tried anything like this with the cycling sub-theme, but my builds have always been kind of like Warrior Tribal with some Akiris. Ooh, alright, well, things are coming together somehow. Opponent taps out for Shark Typhoon, plays a tap land. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jace with Kicker. Two Jaces.
I understand difficult choices. I've only scratched the surface of Zendikar's mysteries.
Scry with Jace.
Every problem has a solution.
Yeah, we'll keep both of those. Draw the land. Play the land. Pass the turn. It is man, our sideboard planeswalkers have actually kind of been decent. Opponent plays a land. Another Shark Typhoon. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. How do we beat a Shark Typhoon? Well, scry with Jace.
Where's the next puzzle?
Ooh, draw with Jace. Get a Cathartic Reunion.
Let's see what I can do.
Cathartic Reunion. Discard, discard. Ooh, opt. To the bottom. Well, we'd love to find an Experimental Frenzy here. That would be spectacular. Opt. Oh, there it is. Overload. Get the overload. Okay, okay. Play the land. We got a shot, we got a shot. Experimental Overload. Cast it. Get an 11/11. Get back a... We already have a counter. Cathartic Reunion? Yeah, take Cathartic Reunion. Make the 11/11. Pass the turn. Opponent. Raven form! Who plays Raven form? Who? Who? Well, we will scry with Jace.
Knowledge.
Bottom and top. We will draw with Jace. We will Expressive Iteration.
Interesting idea.
Overload to hand. Mount. Oh! Misclick. I did it! I talked about that pun. That is a pun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so close. So close and yet so far. All right, so we will cathartic reunion. Discard, discard. Play the foretell. Foretell the dual strike. Please don't time out. Spike Field Hazard is a land. Well, next turn is the turn. We have a counter. Hopefully next turn is the turn. Opponent. I can't believe we got Raven formed. Goes to combat. Everything at our face. Does not care about Jace's, apparently. Well, on second thought. Jace. Jace. Well, we'll save a Jace. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. Give us this win.
Others, I should do better.
Yeah, let's kill a shark. We just want our opponent to tap down and cast cards. Okay, saw it coming. That's one counter out of their hand. Oh. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, play the land. So let's see. We cast Dual Strike. We cast this. It's doubled. Oh, counters. Counters, counters. Oh, let's scry. I mean, we're also running out of time to make this work, or we're going to die. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. Can we wait another turn? We are at 20. I think we can wait one more turn. Expressive iteration. See if we can find another counter. Alright, so Mystical Dispute to hand. Fury to the bottom. Exile iteration. Play the second iteration. Dual Strike to hand. Mountain Bottom. Seize the spoils. Exiled. Seize the spoils. Actually, do we even want to cast that? No. Foretell. Dual Strike. And... Alright, next turn's the turn. Next turn's the turn. 2 counters, 2 dual strikes. We're going to pull it off. This is the time. This is the time. Opponent's going to kill our Jace. That's fine. This deck's about patience. It's all about patience. Opponent hits us. Down to 14.
I'd rather forget this fight.
Opponent. Torrent Sculptor. Sure. 2 cards in hand. 2 cards. I think even if they're 2 counters, we can beat them. I think it's happening. Nah, we don't need the Jace. I don't think we need the Jace anymore. Opponent. Well, let's blitz the shark. Untap. We draw land. We play the land. So. We will. Expressive iterate or experimental overload. 1, 2. Actually, I think the safest plan is to just copy it. So dual strike. Experimental overload. Opponent counters. I think that's fine though, right? We have a copy, so it's fine. Okay. Sure. One, 1, 2, 3, and negate. We got there. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, we got there. No, we're good. It just copies the next spell that we cast, so we should be fine. We will grab a negate to send a message. Get a 17/17. Dual strike. And opponent doesn't even wait and scoops it up. Whew! Through the test of talents. Oh, all right. Well, those were some long and grindy games, but that deck was actually kind of cool. Just so everyone knows what's going on there, because you might pump with this in a commander game or something. So there's two kinds of spell copying effects. The spell copying effect that we have in our deck is one that says when you cast your next instant or sorcery, copy that spell. So that triggers just from the thing, from the spell going on the stack. So even if the opponent counters the spell, Dual Strike's going to have a delayed trigger. It'll trigger and we'll still get the copy. That is opposed to Expansion Explosion, for example. Expansion Explosion. Oh my god. Expansion Explosion says copy target instant or sorcery spell. Expansion Explosion would fizzle. If they test of talented our spell, then it would fizzle, we get no copies. So something to keep in mind. And we got another new donation from McCary, $30. Thank you so much, McCary. I'm not interested in return to Innistrad yet. I like 2 blocks. I wish they'd take a break and return to another plane. Lorwyn, Alara, Kamigawa, Macadia, even Tarkir. I'm worried that they'll wear it out with the Zendikars and Ravnica. So, McCary, thank you so much for the donation. That is an interesting question, and we'll talk about it in just a second. A quick reminder, and then it's brewing time, that our sponsor today, outside of McCary, is Card Kingdom. And if you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com, even get a free Scoop Soldier sticker. So thank you to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. All right, so that's actually a really interesting question. Hey, what's up, Laura Gay? Yeah, we're just about to spend the second half of our stream brewing around some double major wombo combo. Is it Fling with Sweet though? Is it Fling with Sweet? I think that the deck, if you decide to play it, it definitely can win. You saw how our matches went. We played 3 matches. We went 2-1, and it took us an hour and 40 minutes. Maybe a little bit less because we did the intro, but it is a deck that is slow. You got to be very, very patient. You got to wait for the window. You have a combo that's going to win the game. The combo is pretty guaranteed to win if we can get to that point. The problem is it can get blown out by interaction. So it's all about waiting, building up counters, waiting. So if you decide to try the deck, play it patiently. I think if you just fire it off willy-nilly, it's not going to go well. But we're going to brew some double major. As far as that question, I actually think that's a really interesting question for chat. Do you think that we're returning to popular planes too much? I'm not sure how I feel about it. If we were playing double major, can we have at least one Jadzi? Ooh, maybe. I think our main goal is to pull off the combo, but maybe we'll Jadzi as well. What do you think, chat? Do we return to the popular planes too often? Like Ravnica, Zendikar, Innistrad. I guess those would be the three that we go back to very, very frequently. And then we have some less popular planes that we almost never go back to. Or never have gone back to. Lorwyn, Alara, Kamigawa, many like that. I do feel like if you look at the return of sets, I honestly feel like, much like movies, they essentially never live up to the originals. At least that's been my perception. Like, if you look at all those sets, let's start with Original Zendikar. Original Zendikar, a pretty beloved set, also had fetch lands. Then Battle for Zendikar, worst all-time set, and that, or not worst all-time, but a very, very bad set that no one liked. And then we went to Zendikar Rising, which was good, but I don't think it lived up to original Zendikar. Look at Innistrad. Original Innistrad, one of the best sets of all time. Shadows over Innistrad, it was fine. It wasn't bad, but I don't really see it show up on best of all time lists. We haven't got our third take yet. We'll be getting that in the fall. And then you look at Ravnica, original, absolutely beloved, one of the best sets of all time. The second take, Return to Ravnica, pretty reasonable. I think it was still generally really liked. The third one, I mean, it wasn't bad. So maybe Ravnica, if any of them breaks out of it, maybe Ravnica's the one that has been most consistently strong. My assumption is Wizards has data that players really like those sets. This pleases Gaga. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Glad you're back. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. My assumption is Wizards is always publishing those polls. They're always publishing those polls. And I am assuming that they got data saying that those are the most liked planes. And Wizards was like, I mean, players like it. Let's keep going there until they stop liking it. I would like to see more of a mixture. Personally, I would like to return to some of the other less appreciated planes. I think would be interesting. I really want to go back to Mirrodin / New Phyrexia. I've always loved Mirrodin. I would like to go back to Alara. I like the shard theme. We haven't revisited Alara shards in a while. I think that would be awesome. Lorwyn, I would like to go back to just for the goofiness. Kamigawa, I'll give you all that one. Like, personally, I don't care about going back to Kamigawa, but I know some people really care about it, so I'm fine with going back to the Kamigawa for everyone else. Tarkir could be a fine one to return to. So I would like to do more of that. It does feel like we go to the popular planes too often, but all right. So double major. Here's the idea. Actually, let's just start a new deck. Let's start a new deck. All right. So we're brewing around double major combo. So double major combo. Here's the key pieces. We have double major. I guess we got to type all of it. Double major. So we have double major. Copies a creature spell while it's on the stack, gets around the legend roll. We have Vadrock. Oh my god, not this version, please. I don't know why it defaults to the Godzilla version instead of the awesome comic book version, but so we have Vadrock. The idea of this deck is, they showed more historic anthologies cards. All right, we'll get to it. We'll get to those momentarily. So the main goal of this deck is to get to 6 mana, mutate a Vadrock, double major a Vadrock, and then we can keep casting double major from our graveyard to keep copying it and cast more and more things. So I will say, we definitely need to have access to looting effects. Looting effects are really important to this deck because once we start going through the combo, we're going to be able to cast multiple spells. Looting effects like Prismari Command allow us to essentially loot through our deck. Prismari Command also deals damage, which allows us to win the game. So that is step one. Ooh, let me see these cards. Let me see historic anthologies. If you got a link, send it to me. Otherwise, I will try to. I don't see new cards. Does anyone have a link to the rest of the new cards? Oh, these are yeah. Okay, we were talking about these ones at the beginning of the stream. Actually, Dramoka's Command, good card. Intangible Virtue. Not sure there's enough good token producers, but if there are, best token anthem. Very very good in token decks. Stifle. Maybe janky combos, but not going to be an actual competitive card, I don't think. Vault Scourge, really good with like Affinity, Tempered Steel style decks. Probably going to be pretty impactful in those shells. So I'm waiting to see the rest of it, but wait, are there even more? Oh yeah, those are. Yeah, I think we already knew. We already knew these. So someone we talked about yesterday, these two they spoiled on the stream. Vorinclex, I don't think is relevant, really, for the most part. I mean, can play it for fun, but I don't think it's different than what we already got going on. Whirler Virtuoso is not bad if there's like a go-wide artifact deck, but... Alright, so how are we building this deck? We're here to brew. So our plan, we need things to mutate onto. We're also in many colors, like blue, red. I guess Teamer is going to be our main shell. So we need things to mutate onto. So we need to have... Mutate Ramp Dude is a good call. Polywog Symbiote. Alright, we'll play the normal version rather than Baby Godzilla. Polywog Symbiote makes sense. What else do we want to mutate onto? I think we need to have at least at a minimum... And maybe more. Can we add the other mutate combo too? Maybe the other mutate combo, Gilded Goose could work. I don't know if we need other mutate creatures really. I think the main thing is we need to have enough things to mutate Vadrak on. And then we're gonna need more. We're probably gonna need more looting effects and damage effects, I think. Stone Coil might not be bad. I don't know. I don't think there's any cheap hexproof creatures in the format. I think the only ones that we have are like pretty expensive. Hexproof land. Hexproof from black is like something. Hexproof from blue. Yeah. Mechagodzilla if you get really lucky, which never happens. So yeah, there's not actually cheap hexproof creatures. And they have to be non-human. That is also part of all this. Illuna. Stifle can screw Thassa's Oracle's trigger against Tainted Pack. That's true. Yeah, we're working on double major combo. Paradise Druid out of the format now. Grazer is also out of the format now. So let's go to our colors. We're going to be in Teamer. Creatures that are like 1, 2, 1 and 2 mana mostly. Gilded Goose makes sense to me. I could see that. Like Gilded Goose, it ramps us. It's a body. Life gain's somewhat relevant. I think we need at least 2 more copies of a creature. Ooh, Cobra. The only thing about Cobra, and something that we should probably keep in mind with all these creatures, is Bone Crusher Giant. That's the other thing, is we want our creatures to be as resilient as possible. I almost wonder if we should not play Gilded Goose and try to play... Can you sort by toughness on here? You can't, right? All right. And try to play things with 3 toughness. I think ideally our stuff will not die to Bone Crusher, because the easiest way for us to... Ooh, wait. Riptide Turtle? No one's going to expect the Riptide Turtle mutate. I can tell you that. Thassa's Oracle might actually... If it was 1 and a blue instead of double blue, I think Thassa's Oracle might be the call. Turtle would be kind of funny. Red creatures all have low toughness, I think. Trying to just Pyreling. I don't think that's super helpful. So I would prefer things like Symbiote that are like 1/3s to dodge Bone Crusher. Goose might still be fine. Ooh, what about Magmatic Chant? Oh, human. Ugh, humans. McIntyre, welcome. Ooh. The Flyer's an interesting one. It's 1/4 flyer. It's not a human. I actually do kind of like that. There's a couple of green rolls. Pyro Flamer, Ruin Crab. Do we want to mill our opponent, though? Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fae of Wishes is actually interesting to me. Fae of Wishes, 2 mana, 1/4. We could also maybe tutor something from our sideboard. I like the resilience of it. All right, maybe a couple Fae of Wishes. I kind of like that start. Gilded Goose might still be worth it. I kind of like that idea. Then, so the other challenge is we need to be able to find our pieces. So we need card draw. We could even, man, maybe play, wow, do we play one in the sideboard? That's kind of interesting. Maybe we play a double major in the sideboard and play 4 Fae of Wishes? That's actually kind of a really cute idea that I like. Your big combo piece is Jeskai. Why are you doing green, not white? Well, we gotta have double major. Double major is our other combo piece. So, like, the two things we need to go infinite are Vadrock and double major. So we kind of gotta be in Teamer for those. We could also add white, but Toski. Well, we're in standard, so we don't have Lightning Helix. Lord Dracus. So we need to be able to find double major. How do we find double major? There is isn't there a blue tutor that they just printed? I don't know if it's worth it or not. Oh, I see. We got these filters on. Isn't there... Yes, I wonder if Solve the Equation's worth it. More drawing also seems good. That's where, like, Thrill could be good. Expressive Iteration gets 3 deep. That's true. And then we want things that deal damage. All right, we'll play maybe like 2 Solve the Equations. That seems fine. Ooh, See the Truth. See the Truth is interesting. See the Truth actually does work really well with Vadrock. Huh. We have a new donation from... Elf, $5 donation. If you mutated other creatures onto Vadrock, you can still do the double major combo. They are cheaper mutate costs than Vadrock. If you mutate other creatures onto Vadrock, you can still do the double main. Oh, well, I don't think you can though, right? Because you need multiple Vadrocks to actually win the game. So you could go infinite mutating something else onto it, but you would just be infinitely copying. And I think you would just do that forever and nothing would really happen. You want to have multiple, like the power of the Vadrock combo is first Vadrock gets double major, then you have 2 Vadrocks, so you can get double major plus something else, then double major plus 3 things, and it just keeps snowballing and snowballing. Hey, what's up, Aussie Dave? How are you? Read Vadrock's costs. Well, no, I know that Vadrock will trigger when something else mutates on it. What I'm saying is, to actually win the game, we need 2 Vadrocks mutated together. Like, 1 Vadrock doesn't do it. We need 2 Vadrocks. So, it would be hard to do it that way. It would be hard to do it with another mutate creature, I think. I do like See the Truth. I think that's a good idea. We probably need some amount of removal. We need more damage. We need more damage. And we need some way to stay alive. How does mutate interact with rituals? Ugh. The ritual spell. No, we're not playing the ritual, I don't think. I wasn't planning on playing that. Yeah, do you think the Learn Burn is worth it? Or do we want other sideboard cards? So, but we do need draw, discard. Actually, I don't know about expressive iteration. Or the other thing with See the Truth is we really want the cards to end up in our graveyard rather than in going back in our library. Because then that allows us to cast those cards. So I almost wonder, what is... Oh, that's going to be a creature in the graveyard. Otherwise, it would be sweet. I wonder if we play white, we could play Thrilling Possibility. Thrilling Possibility might be fine. Riley would be interesting. Or Thrilling Discovery. Strategic planning is not in standard. Oh. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Well, strategic planning makes a lot of sense. And we can even play the good call. We can even play the Mystical Archive. Maybe we don't Thrilling Discovery. Our mana would be better without it. We can always just play, like, Thrill of Possibility. Not quite as good, but not requiring us to go into more mana. Emergent Sequence. It does make a non-human. It actually is funny to infinitely flash back, isn't it? Alright, we'll play an Emergent Sequence. Probably just one, but that's actually kind of... I kind of like that. That's kind of cute. How do we stay alive? What's our removal spell? I feel like iteration... We want our things to go in the graveyard, though. Like, I feel like that's what we're missing. Like, expressive iteration doesn't put the thing in the graveyard. So I feel like it would be a non-bow with the combo. I don't know if we want a fight spell. Ideally, a burn spell that could also hit players would be probably the best. But we can just play in normal removals. What, are we stuck on creatures still? Where are all the burn? Why are these all creatures? Where's all the, like, lightning bolt effects? We must have a weird setting on in here. Yeah, I could play Shock. Wow, is there just no burn that hits creatures or players? Huh. Oh, any target. That's the problem. I'm using the old wording. So Shock. Royal Eruption. Slang Fire. I don't know how often we're going to have triple red. We could play more tutory stuff, like the Inspiration. I don't know what lessons we'd be tutoring up. Eh? I guess it does let us loot, doesn't it? I guess even that might be worth it, just for the looting purposes. And then we can play... And then we can play stuff in our sideboard, because we have this Fae of Wishes that can tutor it up. So we can play... like a whole sideboard package. Test of Talents. Negate. I never use the rummaging mode anyway. I should use it more. Should probably get a sweeper. Storm's Wrath? Storm's Wrath. Yeah, lessons. Lessons. The problem is they're just bad. So, Illuminate History. Basic I guess I can help us dig for our Vadrock, which is somewhat relevant. Vadrock. Pest summoning seems funny to go infinite with. Infinite tokens. Land tutor lesson. Yeah, I guess the colorless ones are decent. Alright, one land tutor. Breach for artifact enchantment removal. Yeah, I guess maybe that's better than the red one, probably. That's a good call. Welcome to the Fishbowl. How are you on Sea Spectre for the 53rd month? Welcome to the Fishbowl. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Alright, so 2 more cards for the sideboard. What do we need to stay alive? Probably more, maybe like shock. Some sort of early game removal in case we hit aggro. And so we got some counters. This hits any non-creature. maybe an Ugin. Pacify effect, Fire Prophecy. Alright, Fire Prophecy's fine. Maybe something like that. Ooh, Decisive Denial. I don't know if our creatures are good enough to fight. Do we want the double major in the sideboard? I guess it's fine. We have to solve the equation. So mana, Triome. We're not going to play Plains. Triome, Pathways of the proper colors. Trim. Fabled Passage. And, What do we think? Does this look like a deck? Will we win a game? Is it possible that we win a game with this deck? Or a match? Can we win a match? Add 1 Plains? Yeah, I mean, we can add a Snakeskin Veil to the sideboard. Maybe Illuminate History is not worth it. I mean, do you think... I mean, I guess if we want white mana, a Pathway might be the easiest way to do it. Maybe we just trim back on Fabled Passages. If we want access to white mana, I think probably just like the Pathways. Something like that. And then of course we need some sleeves. All right, chat, what do you think? Are we ready to try this? Take it out for a test spin. We got counters in our sideboard. Chingatha. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a free roll. Our sideboard slots are being pretty taxed. We're trying to go infinite. Oh, that's right. All right, should we try it? Should we give it a shot? Do you have a creature that doesn't die to Storm's Wrath? All of our creatures die to Storm's Wrath. We're trying to pull off an infinite combo. That is the goal of the deck. I mean, we'd like to do it as... I mean, I think we have 15, right? We should have. We did have. Yeah, there's not that many true duels in Standard, really. Yeah, I guess Chingatha sort of survives. Yeah, alright. Alright, we got Prismari Command. Oh, Yarion. Majors. Wait, what's missing? Double major. Oh. Why do we not have Arena? Did her? Oh, well, I guess we got to concede then. Like, not being able to get double major is really huge here. That's what this Fave Wishes is for, is to get our double major from our sideboard for the combo. There should be one in the... Hopefully there's one in the sideboard. Unless Arena bugged out and cut it. I guess we'll see in a second. I'll play the land, pass the turn. This is an infinite double major combo. Vadrock double major. You can view your sideboard by clicking your deck. Yeah, it looks like Arena deleted the double major. Arena. Why, Arena? Alright, well, sure. That's Arena's fault. You clicked it off? No! We tried to put it in the sideboard, Arena. Arena said, oh, double major can't be your companion. Which, that's how companions work. You don't need to select your companion. You just put a card in the sideboard. But Arena said, oh, it can't be your companion. And then apparently removed it from the deck entirely. Arena. I blame Arena. Maybe I'll take a little blame, but most of it goes to Arena. I wonder why they do companion that way, honestly. I wonder why they make you set your companion instead of just, like, doing it how it works under the actual rules. Strange. Elspeth's Nightmare. Hey, Arena deserves it. If Arena doesn't want to be thrown under the bus, it could choose to function. But, you know, that's on Arena as far as I'm concerned. This is awkward. Well, treasure and loot. Gonna get got by Elspeth's Nightmare. Yarion. Well, sure. I kind of want to just restart because we can't get our like double major is the single most important card in our sideboard. Yeah, it is kind of weird how they do it that way. Moto does it in a way that does not require you to do that. All right, let's add double major to the sideboard. That was, I mean, we're playing one less copy of our most important card specifically to try to get out of our sideboard, and it is not in our sideboard. Yeah, I am also very sick of Salty Ultimatum. But I guess that's also true of, like, most standard decks. Alright. Well, double major going back in. Not in the companion slot. So the real question is, chat, do you think we will pull off this infinite combo before... I mean, this is against odds to the max. Do you think that we will pull off the infinite combo this stream? Like, before the stream ends, will we pull it off? No? That's not what I wanted to hear, DJ Kipling. We just gotta do it once. We just gotta do it once. Just run Hushbringer. Wait, what is Hushbringer? Hushbringer for what? Well, play the land, pass the turn. I mean, in defense of Salty Ultimatum, I am also sick of rogues, and I'm also sick of adventures. So it might just be that I'm just sick of our current standard meta, and that's how it is. So that could also just be the answer to all this, is because I actually probably get way less joy out of out of playing against Rogues and Yorion, actually. I think it's just, I really, truly, honestly believe they gotta rotate more times a year. Things happen so quickly on Arena, and there's so many games played. There's so many games played that I feel like it really needs to, Wizards needs to pick up the pace to match, essentially, in my opinion. Well, oh, they mill our forest? Yeah. Well, play an island. Play a symbiote. Because that's the thing, like, Rogues is an interesting deck. Even, like, Emergent Ultimatum was an interesting deck at first. I think it's just that we've seen these same decks over and over and over again. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. But yeah, I think that that rotating quicker would probably help to some extent. I think the older, slower plan probably made sense 10 years ago when the game itself was slower. But in our current world, I don't think it actually serves the game very well. Well, we'll get a Jingoth, I guess. We will play Polywog Symbiote, I guess. Opponent will counter, because I just drew a bunch of cards. Do you think it's possible for Wizards to make sets for digital only? I mean, it's possible, but I can't imagine it happening. I don't. So, if they were ever going to do that, it would have to be for Historic. That would be the only way that I think I would get on board with that plan. Like, if Wizards wants to just, like, make Historic never a paper format, which I already don't think it'll ever be a paper format, but if they want to just, like, commit to it not ever being a paper format, and, yeah, we're just super... yeah, Rogue seems tough. I don't know if we never beat Rogues. Opponent has a counter. But if they want to commit to Historic never being a paper format, then Historic Horizons, where you design cards just for it, would actually be super fun. But I don't think you can do it for other formats. I very strongly feel that, like, Standard has to be the same in paper as it is on Arena. And on Moto as it is in paper and on Arena. I think that's... yeah, alright. We're not going to bash our heads against this wall. But I feel like that would greatly, greatly, greatly hurt the game if that went away. And all of a sudden, like, Standard on Arena has a bunch of random cards that don't exist in paper. And Moto has its own cards that don't exist in paper. I mean, Jumpstart exists in paper. It's legal and Historic, but you can get all those cards in paper. So I think that's fine. Oh, I really hope we get to pull off the combo. I really hope we get to pull off the combo. There are cards that don't exist. Yeah, I don't like those cards. I don't like that there are cards that don't exist on Arena. I think that is a really, really weird, brutal choice. I mean, I guess they're only legal in Best of One, but still. Like, I still think that is just such a weird, not good choice. And I don't get the point of it. Like, because the cards are not, like, especially interesting. So, if you need cards for, like, your new player experience, why not just, like, reprint some of the 25,000 cards that have been printed? Like, why? I don't know. I've never understood why they made that choice, honestly. Not even, like, a little bit. But yeah. I don't know. Can you think of any reason why they would make that choice? Like, what's the upside of printing a handful of new cards that don't exist anywhere else and, like, having them... I'll kill you. Make a treasure. I don't even think it makes more digital sales, though, does it? Like, because you get them for free in the new player experience. So it's not like they're even really selling them. Do you think they keep the rotation schedule in mind when it comes to play design team? I would expect that they do. Oh, I mean, I'm sure that they do as far as, like, the sets that they're making. Wizards knows that, whatever, Zendikar Rising is going to be played with Kaldheim, or... I mean, we've seen, like, examples of this in the past, where a lot of times in the summer set, they would print really powerful things that would synergize with something that would be rotating in a couple of months, knowing that it would hopefully be, like, safe-ish, because it was going to rotate before long anyway, so... So we got some cool, like, rancor with Infectant standard and stuff like that that just almost certainly wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the fact it was rotating. Wait, what? They don't do that. If they did, we wouldn't have gotten Copycat. Well, Copycat Wizards, I think just... that was a little bit weird. I think that there is some probably slightly tinfoil hatty argument that they actually knew the whole time and tried to play it off as like they didn't after it was a disaster. So I think there is that is a real possibility, in my opinion, because let me see if I can find this card. It's in the art of one of the cards. It's in the art of one of the cards. It's Saheeli with Felidar Guardian. At least that's what it looks like to me. I think it's like the Saheeli's Artistry pre-release. Is it Magic Online? Oh, maybe... I don't know. Maybe they printed it afterwards. I'm actually not sure if this promo was printed when the set released, or... I would have to research it to say for sure. But that definitely seems like Saheeli with Copycat. I think the most likely explanation, though, is that Wizards just missed it. Well, that's strategic planning. Get a land. We need our opponent to tap down or out, or we just get so blown out. Play the land on blue. Next turn, we might be able to go for it. Pass the turn. No attacks. So we can try to target our opponent on their end step, maybe to get them to do something. If we can resolve... Oh! If we can resolve this Bedrock and it sticks, we got it. Opponent goes attacking. I guess we can also just loot for a counter. Opponent mills us. Well, Prismari Command. Treasure loot. Oh, they got interaction, don't they? Discard Prismari Command. Double major. Oh, it's so depressing. What do you think, Jack? Give me your vote. Do we go for it? No, we got treasures, so we have the mana. Are we just going for it? And if they got the answer, we scoop. All right, let's do it. So we will mutate Bedrock. Loot. Well, double major. Vadrock. I think we can go off with it on the stack. Through the counter. Mutate it. got him! Got him! We got him! We got him! Put it over. Flashback that double major. Yeah! Yes, take that, rogues. Take that, rogues! Try to essence scatter us. Copy it. 2 Vadroks. Stick them together. Stick it over. And now the real fun begins. Flashback double major. We will also flashback a burn spell. Infinite. It is like sort of uncounterable. Sure. We'll learn a lesson. Double major. I think we will target Vadrok. Over. 3 spells this time. We will burn you. Oh, we did this wrong. Oh, I did this backwards. Oops. I think we always want the, I believe we always want the double major to be the last one on the stack. And opponent scoops it up. Oh! Alright. We did it! There were rumors that we would not pull off the combo even a single time for the entire stream, but we got there. We also got a new donation from Jaguar, $3 donation. Hey, Seth. I tried using what I learned from your latest Witherbloom Budget brew to modify my White Black Sack Aristocrat deck to make it Absent Aristocrat deck. Can you tell me how to improve it? Well, Jaguar, 2100, thank you for the donation, and let's take a look. That was sweet. That was sweet. We did it. Infinite and Standard. I mean, it is pretty spicy, isn't it? Historic Absent Aristocrats. So I'd be a little concerned about Coco with 23 creatures. That's like right on the edge of, I mean, really it's a little too low. You might be able to get away with it, but you're going to hit 1 more often than you'd like, probably. The creature package looks good. I like the creature package for Historic. That's a lot of the same stuff we were doing in Modern, really. The 1-drops that make a token when they die. So I like those. I like the Blood Artist. Dina is sweet with the Blood Artist. And a backup Sacrifice Outlet. What I might consider for Historic, especially since you have Collected Company, is maybe an option would be to trim... Maybe you trim like a Witch's Oven and trim something to play some Woe Striders. Woe Striders get hit by Collected Company, and it gives you another Sack Outlet. So I feel like that would be a pretty reasonable option. So I might consider that. That would probably be my advice. Try to up the creature count a little bit, most likely with... yeah, I guess you would lose Luris, huh? Is there another 2-mana Sack Outlet? I wonder if it's worth dropping Luris for Woe Strider. I do feel like more creatures is important. One way or another, I feel like we need to get up to ideally like 28 to 30 creatures, but I would say at a minimum we need at least 25. And that's still cutting it a little bit close, but you could probably get by with 25. Yeah, the deck does have Cruel Celebrant and Blood Artist. So you have the 8 Blood Artist effects. You have 12 sackable 1-drops. Dina, spell-wise, Village Rites and Plum are really important. Call the Death Dweller is kind of like Historic Unearth, I guess. And it does seem pretty sweet in the deck. Or maybe, I guess the other option is maybe you don't Coco. That would be the other way to go, is maybe you don't play the Coco. Huh. I would just shy away from Coco at 23 creatures. I think you got to get 25, 26, and even that, like I said, even at 25, 26, that's like, ooh, sketchy, but 23 is like, I don't think you can run Coco at 23. Huh, what do you think? Would it be better in that deck, chat? Would it be better to get rid of the Cocos or try to add more creatures to support the Cocos? I'm actually really right in the middle. I don't know. I'm not sure what I would do. Oh, man, this mana. I guess when in doubt, take an island. Have you played Tainted Pact on stream? We've played a little bit of Tainted Pact. We played it as, I believe, like a backup deck at one of our historic streams. I don't feel like I don't feel like it's like an especially intriguing deck. I actually think that's one of the most likely decks to get banned from the Mystical Archives. Oh, against your friend Matthew? Tell Matthew next time you talk to him that we were happy to combo off against him because they were on rogues. This is a nice rune crab. 2 lands. Well, play this on... We need this on green. Play this on green. Pass the turn. Our opponent milling us is kind of... Oh, no. Rogues. Rogues, why do you do this to us? Kill your thing. Loot. So we need double major. Well, there's double major. Discard the land. And... Prismari command? I mean, we just gotta hope for no interaction, but that's so sketchy against... It's so sketchy against rogues, because rogues just has so much removal. Opponent hits us. And they have instant speed removal. A lot of decks are more sorcery speed removal. Rogues has a ton of instant speed removal. I'll play Fae of Wishes. Opponent. I was just kidding. Don't actually tell your friend Matthew that. There's nothing wrong with any deck that you want to play, even if it annoys other people. Actually, I enjoy playing decks that annoy other people. That can be an upside, so. Strategic planning. About it. Do you think Faithless Sydney or Brainstorm is more problematic in Historic, Seth? Do they both get banned neither together, or does one go first? Ooh. That's a really good question. My expectation would be that both would get banned eventually. Which one gets banned first? Yeah, alright, so there's a removal spell. Which one gets banned first? I'm really not sure. I think that Tainted Pact is the first Mystical Archive to get banned, would be my prediction. Well, we will help mill. I'll take a Triome. Symbiote. Triome. Please stop killing our stuff, rogues. Just tap out. Tap out. Play some silly rogues. Let us combo you. Oh, we're getting milled brutally. Opponent hits us. Down to 10. Mills us. Land. Mills us. Tap out. Tap out. Oh, well, here we go again. I mean, in theory, we can win. In practice. So what fizzles a combo easily is killing our symbiote. Most easily. Wait, do we not have the mana for this? Red, red, blue, red, blue. Well, we're going for it. Come on. Come on, opponent. No, no, no. No, no, no. Oh! Desperate sacking! Oh my god, are we going to win? Is it going to happen? I would not believe this. Do we just go for it right now with the trigger on the stack? This might be our best time. Wait for the counter? The problem is removal. I guess if... Well, no, because we have to trigger this. We have to copy it before it resolves. I don't know why you sack your thing if you got the answer. Come on, Matthew. Come on, friend Matthew. Just scoop it up. Let us have the victory. Please. Please, Matthew. Ah! Yes! Over! Oh, we got there. Sweet mother. I did not believe it was possible. We will copy. We will say good game. Oh my god, we're going to misclick trying to say good game. Oh my, I want to say good game to Matthew because they seem like a nice opponent. Oh! Why can't we? Oh, not going to happen. The good game's not meant to be. Got it. I think we got it. Yeah, I see it in there. Okay. Yes! I cannot believe this worked. I literally cannot believe that this worked. No way did I think that this was going to actually beat Rogues. Not in a billion years. None. No chance. But it's happening. It's happening. Oh, sure. Tutor out more lessons, why not? Double major. I think we'll copy our Vad Rock. Stack them up. Put it over. Do it again. Double major. Well, Matthew, I don't know if you let us win. If you did, I appreciate it. And thank you for the match. Inspiration. And command. To you, make a treasure. Burn you. Pass summonings, might as well. Burn you. Tutor out every lesson. Double It worked. It worked. We broke it. Chat, we did it again. I will say that our brews the last couple days have been way more successful than I ever would have imagined. Like, seriously, way, way better than I ever would have thought. So, well done. Well done, chat. We're doing it. Oh my god, there's another one? It just keeps going forever? Alright, sure. Too many triggers. To you, make a treasure. Prismari command. To you, make a treasure. We broke standard. Actually, I mean, I would say that we broke standard, but we beat Rogues. We beat Rogues. Oh, you don't even understand what's happening. I guess I should explain it a little bit better. Hey, what's up, Betty? How are you? All right, so the deck. Here's what the deck's doing. Here's what you're doing. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know about Inferior to Omen Pass. It's still it's a mutate deck. I have no idea if what version of what kind of combo is better, but I mean, it's still, we didn't really break standard. I was being hyperbolic. But so the deck, if you're confused by what was going on there, the idea is Vadrock, when it mutates, lets you cast something instant or sorcery, mana value, or non-creature, mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. So the trick is, you mutate Vadrock, you double major. The double major copy is still mutating. So the Vadrock mutates, the original one is still on the stack. So when it mutates, you can cast the double major for free, copy the original Vadrock again. Now you have 2 Vadrocks mutating. So the first one mutates, you cast a double major to copy be the original Vadrock. The second mutating one, you cast like a burn spell to start killing your opponent, and then you got 3 Vadrocks, so then you double major to get a Vadrock again with the one still on the stack, cast 2 bird spells, or if you don't have a bird spell, you can loot through your deck with Prismari Commander, tutor through your deck with Solve the Equation, or make a ton of fractals with Emergent Sequence. So yeah, the deck, I mean, it worked. I honestly don't know if I want to I honestly don't know if I want to play another game with it, in all honesty. I feel like it's going to be hard to top that. And if we play another match and we lose, it's going to diminish the glory of our beating of rogues. It might be, no, it's not even that it's too many clicks. I like the deck. It's that, I think we got lucky to win. So I don't know if I want to play another match and tarnish our decks undefeated. I mean, right now it actually is the best deck in Standard. How many decks? All right, we'll do another one. Well, we got time to do another one. I mean, how many decks in Standard are literally undefeated? Just ours right now. But after we play this match and get crushed, then we're 1-1 and we're just another Standard deck. But we'll do another one. We got enough time in our stream to do one more, so we might as well. The good news is, what if we win? If we win, then we're 2-0, and then it really would be the best deck in Standard. Well, tell Matthew hi, and thank you for the match, and also, it's Rogues again. Well, we just beat it. We just beat it once. I feel like I really need to take like a day and just not play any jank or record any against odds and get out of the lower ranks. Because I feel like one thing I've realized about the lower ranks is while you do it's not really the best deck. I was still being hyperbolic. One thing I've realized about the lower ranks is while you do occasionally play different matchups than the top tier decks, you also play the cheapest top tier decks a lot, which I think means that Rogues, for example, is like super overrepresented at the lower ranks because it's the like sort of competitive deck that people can actually afford. So the end result is you play against it a lot. Yeah, let's go learning. Opponent taps. Mythic percent is where the jank is at. Yeah, that's probably, I've heard that before too. Well, let's play this on. Actually, let's just strategic. Yeah, let's strategic planning. Strategic planning, go digging. Fill our graveyard for our wonderful rogue opponent. How's the? Oh, all right. How's the draft ladder going? Well, pathway on green. Go. Opponent. That's what I dislike about the arena economy. It does make cheap competitive decks way overrepresented because it's so costly to play jank. Yeah, that part is somewhat disappointing. Very disappointing to me too. As someone who loves brews, it's a little sad that people feel like they can't play fun decks. A lot of people feel like they can't play fun decks on Arena because of how the economy's set up. And I think that's pretty sad because I want people to play fun decks, and people want to play fun decks. So it's kind of depressing that people feel like they can't play the decks they want to play because of the economy. Even if they're like decks that would normally be cheap. Like that's the weirdest part, is it's decks that would be like super cheap in paper. Like if you're playing them in paper, they would be budget decks. But on Arena, a deck like this, which is super janky, ends up being super expensive because of how the wildcard thing works out. I'll play a Gilded Goose. I'll play a Symbiote. Was our opponent on full control? It's like stopping every spell we play. Play a line on red, get Jingatha. Have you recorded this week's Commander Clash? I'm super hyped for no ban list, Commander. Yes, that'll be coming out on Friday. Definitely interesting to see the ban cards in the format. Many of them probably good that they're banned, I would say. Opponent, removal spell 1. Plays a land. I would have so many brews if it wasn't so expensive to print. Something like Titan's Nest that you'll build one sweet deck and never use it again. Yeah, that's kind of the hard part for budget and like against the odd style decks. Is opponent gets in. It is very difficult to justify. Ooh, boy. Do we just go for the miracle and hope for the best? Opponent has 3 cards. Does it get better if we wait? Yeah. I mean, we came here to do this. So, mutate Vadrock, see what our opponent does. Oh. Awkward. Opponent. No. Of course. There's the rogues we know and love. Soaring Thought Thief. Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I expect to have happen against rogues, honestly. Yeah. Rogues feel so much worse to play against in mono blue. I mean, I think part of it is rogues have been around forever. I think that's what it comes down to with so many of these decks is the decks are cool. They've just been at the top of the meta for too long. I think it's actually someday I'm going to write this article when I have a ton of time to actually go back and dig through all the numbers. But I think it's actually really interesting that if you go back to some of like the older standards that were very well liked, you have this like constant churn up and down of decks where it's like if you go back to formats that were kind of like memed on, like Siege Rhino standard, you would have like so many sets going in and out of the top tier of the meta, or so many decks going in and out of the top tier of the meta, that you would have like Abzan is the best, but then no, Jeskai is actually the best. And Abzan, while it's still a deck, is like tier 3, and then, you know, someone will rebuild Abzan, and it will make a return and something else will fold out, and then this new deck comes up that no one had thought of before, like a Devotion deck because the new sets comes out. I feel like that's something that's mostly been missing from Standard, is if you look at Standard, like Sultai Control, been around forever. It's a deck built around cards from a year ago. Dimir Rogues, I guess the new deck, but that's a deck that has been around since Zendikar Rising. Mono Red, been in the format for 2 years. Night Adventures, going on 2 years, back to Eldraine, cycling, Ikoria, Prismari mid-range. I guess that's like maybe you would say a new deck, considering it came out with Keldheim, so it's new-ish. Temur Ramp, that's an adventure deck. Sacrifice decks, that is build around Eldraine stuff. Gruul, that's an adventure deck. Winota, that's an adventure deck. Mono White, I guess, could be considered a Zendikar deck to some extent, but I feel like we need more churn. Like, it's not that these decks are bad. Even the decks that I really dislike playing against, like Rogues, I don't want Rogues to not exist. I just don't want to have to play against Rogues for 2 years straight. I want to play against it for, a few months, a couple of months, and then have something else dethrone it or have something change. So then I get to play against something else that is equally powerful as Rogues, but not the same exact card. So I feel like that a lot of the current standard, it has the same trajectory as most standards. Like every standard, or almost every standard, by the time you get to, the summer before rotation, you're kind of to the point where you're ready for things to change. You've seen Collected Company a lot for a long time or whatever. But I feel like with this standard, there's a whole bunch of decks that have been at the top tier of the meta forever. Would a Dean's deck be fun for Against the Odds? It would probably be funny looking. I don't think there's any actual synergy between any of the Deans that I can think of. I mean, I'm sure there might be some, but there's not like a Dean tribal payoff that I can think of. But I do think it could be funny just to see them all. I feel like I missed a sub. Heptagod for the 6th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. Well, that worked. So we get to kill this. We get to play this on red. Kill that. Get a... Red, green, blue. Well, let's just take environmental sciences. Kill your dork. Go attack it. Hit ya. The Meta Breaker. Ooh. I mean, I definitely think that 10 the Pest is a super sweet card. I think 10 the Pest sacking... oh, that doesn't even have... Interesting. It doesn't have the 11 power creature. Huh. But I think 10 the Pest sacking something big is definitely super fun. And a really cool strategy. Silver Oak, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. What do you think about the Khan's command cycle in Historic Anthologies 5? Do we have the entire cycle? Has that been confirmed yet? Are there more that have been spoiled since we've been streaming? I'll get an island. Play a Gildagoose. So red, green. Alright. Oh, please tap out. I mean, so far we've seen 2, right? We've seen Dramoka's Command and Ojutai's Command. We'll see if they're all there. I think the Dramoka's Command is a pretty powerful card for creature decks. Ojutai's Command, I think in the right shell, it can be pretty good. Cliff Jumper, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you. We haven't seen Colligans yet. Back to this same point where we can go for it, but if our opponent has removal, they get us. We'll go to combat, attack. Maybe we can get our opponent to do something. Opponent takes it. Hey, what's up, Dingle? Ooh, but does it get better if we wait? Is there any way we get our opponent to actually tap down or out? Well, play a land on red. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Tap land. Combat. No attacks. Well, kill your thing. Loot. Opponent's acts to draw a card. Come on. Come on, deck. Give us something. Well, discard and discard. I feel like this is a problem that would not exist in most matchups, by the way. Like, unfortunately, we've played Rogues twice in a row, and it is the most instant speed heavy deck in the format. A lot of decks have a lot more sorcery speed stuff. This one is all about the instants. I'll go to combat. Attack you. Opponent takes it. You miss Growth Spiral? Ugh, I definitely do not miss Growth Spiral. Growth Spiral was so busted. Play the land, pass the turn. Soaring Thought Thief returns. How about your own academic disputes in your sideboard? What would academic dispute do? Wait, no. Academic dispute's the red one, isn't it? That makes a creature block or something? Oh, we have mystical disputes. We do have those in the sideboard. Well, red, red, blue, blue. Vadrock on. Fae of Wishes. Opponent. Thinking. Come on. Come on. Yeah, we're just going to pay. I still have no faith that this is going to work. I don't want to waste our double major. I feel like we're better off, like, trying to get a bunch of stuff out of our opponent's hand and then going again next turn with the combo. Because I just feel like the odds of this working are so slow. Alright. Yeah. Well, opponent, of course. I mean, they're playing rogues. Oh, into the story, draws a million cards. Maybe they tap out. Our odds are going higher, actually, with our opponent being down to, well, we'll see. Opponent passes. We draw land. We play the land. We go to combat. We attack you. They got something. They did just draw a new hand. What do you think about the oldest set? What do you think about dropping the oldest set every time a new set comes out? I would be down with trying that. I'm not sure what the the absolute best way of doing it is, but I do think that something to speed up rotation makes a lot of sense. I don't know if like doing it every 2 sets would be better, but yeah, my initial thought would be like twice a year. Well, Vandrock, opponent. I mean, we're going for it. We're going for it. If they have another mystical dispute, we're not going to get a better window than this, so. Double major? Ho! Ho! Praise the magic gods. All right, double major. And, Prismari command. We got there. 2 to you. Treasure. Oh, thank goodness. I mean, with enough patience, we've actually, like, kind of been able to keep up with rogues. We are the rogues assassins, apparently. Double major. This also means we could gain infinite life. I mean, we're infinite in so many different ways. Infinite life with our lesson card. But we will just win since we have the option of just winning. 2 to you, treasure. So if the combo doesn't make sense, so double major, copies of Vadrock on the stack. We're now up to 4 Vadrocks mutated together. So we're flashing back all those spells again and again. One more shot. If we win this, it'll be a miracle. It'll be a miracle, but it's possible. It could happen. That would go down in the history of Standard. If we somehow, some way, beat rogues twice in a row with this combo deck, it would be mind-blowing. In all honesty, it would just be mind-blowing if we could actually do it. Well, let's see. Here we go. A miracle. It's a Mirrodin miracle. Veil of Summer's funny. It was obviously too good, although this would be the kind of deck where I would enjoy having it be a thing. Opponent plays Lad Passes. Well, we got some protection, which is nice. We got lots of Thieves Guild. I mean, we got Fae of Witches, we got a counter, we have a Snakeskin Veil. So we actually have a lot of ways to protect our combo if we can get the... Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well... Oh boy. Oh no, and the Graveyard Hate. Okay. I mean, the combo's really sweet, and we did a good job building it, I think. We came together as a crew and built a sweet deck. Of course, our opponent's got layers of hate at the moment, but yeah, this start is very good. Double Thieves Guild and the Graveyard Hate. About it. Oh, really? Also got... Could their start really be that good? 2 Thieves Guilds, Graveyard Hate, and the Soaring Thought Thief? Is that really what's happening? The thing is, if we don't block, is there any way we live, or are we just straight up dead? Dandelion, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big huge for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I mean, I guess we're losing either way. Well, sometimes you just gotta tip the hat because your opponent had... I mean, if you're playing rogues, you cannot ask for a start better than that. That is a S tier rogue start. But yeah, this one's super duper duper over. Your go. When can I rotate companions from Legacy? Oh, opponent passes. Well, play this, crack this. I mean, we're at 9. I mean, the other thing is we can't even combo off because of the graveyard hate, so we would have to, like, combo off twice to beat the graveyard hate. Oh, rub it in, opponent. Why don't you? Just a little flex. Counter the horrible lesson just because you can. And well, that is how the dream dies in the hands of rogues. So Matthew's revenge indeed. I mean, I don't think it was a punt, but why do we tap our blue? Well, that might be arena. Did we need our blue? Lower hold madness, eh? Ooh, that looks super fun. Conspiracy theorist is a cool card. This does not look familiar. I'll have to double check my email, but that looks super sweet. Oh, well. So what do we learn? What did we learn about this deck? And we pull off the combo way more than I expected, especially considering we played probably the worst possible matchup twice in a row. Like, we spent a while building a sweet deck. We were rewarded by double rogues in a row, but we beat rogues one of those times, and the second time we still won a match, and then of course we just got nut drawed in the last game. But I mean, the combo kind of works. Similar to the deck we played earlier with the Fling combo. I told you we should have stopped after one match. Similar to the Fling combo deck we played earlier in the stream. If you decide to mess around with the combo, I think it's about patience. If you're just running your stuff out, you're going to get blown out again and again and again. So keep that in mind with both decks we played today. We have another new donation. So many donations today. Thank you. Darice, here's something to make you feel better after playing Icky Yucky Rogues. Unrelated, I thought Urza Saga would work with Mox Tantalite, but my friend Swifty told me otherwise, but not before I ordered a playset. Oh, well, the good news is it's a pretty hyped card, so having a playset will probably be work out anyway. But yeah, it is really weird that it's mana cost rather than mana value. So we played, thank you again for the huge donation, Dries. Definitely appreciate it. So we played Fling. It kind of worked. We went 2-1. We did not get in many games this entire stream. Double major combo. We went 1-1, so our record wasn't bad. But with both decks, if you decide to mess around with them, if you decide to play them, be patient. Look for those windows. We got combos that can win us the game. We just got to find a way to make them resolve. So keep that in mind if you do decide to try out the deck. Gotta be patient, gotta wait, and find that window. But on that note, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today. However, there's bonus magic this week. Tomorrow, I'm going to be guesting on Tomer's stream. Tom is going to be returning for the first time in a while to play some Commander Clash. So tomorrow, 6 Eastern, Tomer stream on the Commander YouTube. And then we'll be back on Thursday to have some more fun. I don't know if we'll be brewing a deck, maybe play some Modern. I was thinking about playing Modern today, but I decided to play some more Standard and do some more Brewing with all of you. But we'll have some more fun on Thursday either way. Reminders on the way out the door. Tons of stuff coming up on the YouTube. Check it out. Replay for the old streams. And another reminder that our sponsor, outside of all of you who were amazing today, tons of donations and just support. So thank you to all of you. But our official sponsor is Card Kingdom, and they're pretty awesome too. And if you need some Strixhaven cards or other cards, you can get them at cardkingdom.com. Even get a free MTG Goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one, and they will hook you up. Yeah, Wilker said you came in right at the end, but don't worry, we're gonna raid someone. There will be raiding. But on that note, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today. So, again, thank you to all of you for being awesome. Raid. There we go. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being amazing and awesome. We'll be back on Thursday for some more fun. So thanks for hanging out, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our brewing and our jaking and our comboing and our roguing. So until Thursday, have a great night. Have a great Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow night on Tomer's stream and Wednesday for our stream. So have a great middle of the week. I love you all, and I'll see you on Thursday.